with visible results in 4 out of 5 men. Regain. Break a family tradition.
If we can get a little...
Know how to keep it, keep your head on your shoulders, and yeah, basically be modest, be humble.
Even if they say you can't walk, you can't act, you'll probably still go a long way. Anyhow, to other matters, Steve Donovan is Britain's #1 chili expert. His parents introduced him to spicy food when he was just 8 years old. Now he eats chilies for breakfast, lunch and dinner. He's turned what was a personal obsession, though, into a business too. Welcome, Steve.
Oh, pleased to meet you.
I think of chilies. This to me is a chili, right? This is a chili.
Yep.
But what you've got with you here is a whole variety of chilies. How many different varieties have you discovered?
There's about 150 to 200 that are recorded.
My goodness.
But there's a load of wild ones out there that still haven't been discovered yet.
What was it about your parents? Were they particularly, do they have a thing about cruelty to children? Why did they want to introduce you to chilies at the age of 8?
I don't know. I think my dad, when all my friends and that were having Sunday roast dinners, my dad was cooking chilies and curries. So obviously he liked the hot and spicy food, and it's just been inherited, I believe.
It's interesting because, you know, historically in Indian food has never been so hot that it burns your mouth when you eat it. Chilies have been a taste thing, and yet so many of the places you can buy Indian food in England do treat it as a heat thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people. I mean, there is a thing about the machoism of eating hot food, and I try my best to get across that there are flavours there, and you can deceive them and make sure that you're just taking lots of different flavours as opposed to just having them for the heat.
Yeah.
But most people think, obviously, I eat them because they're hot, and in a way I do to a certain degree, but a lot of it is flavours and tastes. And I think a lot of people don't realise there are all these varieties around.
So at what point did it move on for you from being just, you know, I quite like a bit of hot food, I like a curry, I like a chilli in my omelette, or whatever you do in the morning for breakfast? At what point did it move on from there to actually being, right, I'm going to find out everything I know, I want to know about chilies, I'm going to start my own business, I'm going to start making chili-based products?
I think the problem was that I'm a bit of an obsessive type person, so whatever I get involved in, I tend to get really obsessed about it. And chilies was the next thing, so I've taken it from there. I started doing my own range of T-shirts, which as you can see are selling well.
Let's have a look at show them the T-shirt. Here we are.
Natural born killers, 2 of the hottest chilies known to man. So, and I couldn't believe how many people out there that are really into chilies.
Yeah.
So we found out also that no one was experimenting with sauces. So I'm trying to make a range of sauces that are bringing different chilies, involving different chilies. I've teamed up with a guy called Dean Simple Clark from a delicatessen in Stamford, and this is what we're producing. We're going to bring everything. All the chilies I can think of, we're going to make anything we can.
I ought to just say that if you're planning to do this at home, we are prepared because we've got a glass of milk, which is apparently the best thing to kill a chilli mouth.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
I bet you drank a fair bit of that after you were doing the stuff with the chilli in your mouth earlier.
Forget the water and beer, it's the milk that's the only one that will cool it down, although I do persist with beer because I do like it.
There is a scale of chilies, isn't there? A scale of hotness, of a Richter scale or some equivalent for chilies. Now, here we have them lined out. Tell me how the scale works and where we are on that scale.
Well, it's a Scoville rating, is the scale of how to work out the different heat scales, but it's very complex, so the best thing to do is stick with the range from 1 to 10.
Right.
5 is your basic normal chilli, which you used to
so that's about here somewhere.
About there somewhere is the 5, which is what you'd class as a chilli. Obviously, you've got the 0 to 1.
This one here?
Yeah, that's probably about a 1 to 2.
This is as little as my pepper than a chilli to me.
Yeah, it's... But
that one somewhere.
Yeah. Luckily I didn't lie.
That's nice. I'm lucky
That's
right.
right.
But I've got this in my hands.
And then you go all the way through to what is known as the hottest...
So it gets steadily hotter, does it?
Yeah, you can keep going. Yeah. I could have thrown in
a rogue one. That gets really
I might have got the order wrong.
I'm all right so far. We're about 7 or 8 at the moment.
Yeah. You know, you're about 4 now. You're coming to 5.
What's this one?
That's probably about an 8.
That's quite nice.
Yeah.
This one, what's this?
That's a 10.
Not a chance, right? Now, tell us about the products that your company makes. You've brought along a few samples of, chili-related products.
Yeah, what we're trying to do is introduce people to different flavours of different chilies. I think no one realises there are these different ranges. So we're just launching this range of sauces at the moment. And what we've got is the smoked Satan chili sauce.
Is that the red one?
Yeah, which is everybody's favourite.
This is quite a mild one then, is it?
It's quite mild.
By the name?
Yeah. But that's using the smoked chili, which is imported from Mexico.
Do you want some?
I've had enough of that.
Oh, you probably had it.
Yeah. And we also use smoked garlic as well. And most people that take that, you can't leave the stuff alone.
That's a stunner. That's really nice. That.
Yeah. So
I see you don't let anyone be fooled by what might be in these jars. You've got hot written on the top of them all.
We do 3 ranges: hot, extra hot, and not so hot.
So a hot exclamation mark means don't try this unless you're brave.
It's not too bad. I think the idea of blowing people's heads off is not not sound advice if you're starting selling sauces. But
just very interestingly, you were telling me a moment ago about chili toothpaste. What's that about?
Well, myself and Dean Semple-Clark are both confessed chili nutters, so we're thinking of doing sauces, chocolate-covered chilies, anything that involves chilies, really.
You're mad, aren't you? You're going to eat one of these. Come on, I'll leave you to it. I'm sure this could be like torture. Coming up a little later, we've got more hot culinary talk and fast cooking in the Taba with Chef Nazir Haq. But first, fashion. It's mix and match Asian style with a brilliant young designer called Reshma.